Hi, hello.
Yeah, ma'am. Am I audible?
Can't hear you. Sorry, can't hear you.
Am I audible now?
No, you're not audible. You're not mute, but I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello.
No,
Hello.
no
Hello.
sound.
Hello. Am I audible now? Hello. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you. Hello. I think try again. You're on mute actually. You're on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now.
So I had put my headphones, but then is it fine if it's on speaker?
Why don't you try again with your headphones?
I'll
We'll
just
see whether that.
visible?
Yeah, it's audible now.
Okay. We'll freeze it.
Okay. So you'll be live in 3 minutes according to the
Okay.
schedule. The last session is still going on at the moment. If that gets over on time, or so I think you'll be just a couple of minutes behind. There are no videos in your presentation, right?
I have a couple of videos and the presentation. So it's all synced in. So Zoom allows, right? Zoom will allow me
No,
to
the
present.
video. Can you try sharing the video now? Because that will one sec. Yeah, please try sharing.
I'll just go through the. Is the screen visible?
Yeah, the screen is visible. Can yeah. So this text is a prompt for you, or is on the present?
So what is the which screen is it visible? I need
So
to
I
maybe.
can see. Okay, can you?
Were
I
you
could
able to?
see three parts of the screen. One was your presentation, one smaller slide, and your notes as well.
No, I'll share the another one. Is it visible now?
Yeah, so I can only see your presentation on the entire screen. Yeah, great.
Now can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
Now we just need to check with the video, right?
Yeah, please.
Is it audible and
Yeah,
visible?
at autism.
Sorry?
Okay, it's loading. Yeah, it's not audible. It's visible. It's not audible.
Jenny,
Is it possible?
એવું કહે છે કે visible છે પણ audible નથી Zoom માં.
Can
મારે
you
ખ્યાલથી
send the videos
I'll send it, but I just need maybe somewhere from that side there's some setting for video where it needs to show
I'll
audio
check
as
some
well.
setting for video.
Right,
Allow participants to start video. Oh, not that.
No. Yeah, that could be one. Huh?
So that is, I think, your own video.
Share screen. Okay. Enable automatically share desktop full screen. Video में audio नहीं चलता. Huh? Ma'am, I'll try one more time.
You can try if you know of some setting.
Yeah, I've checked the thing. I'll just.
Scenario would be you could, just email me the videos if you don't have much time.
Is it audible sound?
Oh, now I am seeing your settings ka screen.
But
Research
that is
shows that
there.
if
But
the
are you able
students in
to
the right
audio
mindset and they
sound?
I
get
can
their
hear the sound.
sensory
Yeah.
Sound is
needs
there. Na?
met,
Video is
they're
there.
going to be much better
No,
learners.
the video is of your settings screen.
Ah, that is okay. That is okay. That is okay. That I'll change.
Acha, I'll open.
The sound was there, ma'am. The sound was there.
Yeah, it was there. It was
I've
there.
sent the videos to Kriti as well.
Oh,
I'll
can
just.
you? Okay, can I give you another email ID because Kriti is now busy in another session.
Okay.
I'll send you through this chat.
Yes, please. You can just dictate me. I'll just write it down.
I've sent it through my.
Can you just speak it up?
1 second. SHWETA
Okay.
NARANG at
NARANG
NG
Naran.
at
Huh.
yeah
Huh.
United UNITED
Yeah. Huh.
IDE
Huh. Huh.
SIGN.com
United
iDesign.com
Design.com. Okay.
SHWETA NARANG at UnitedIDesign.com.
Just check whether you got.
I'll check. No, not yet.
It will come. It will come.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got the two videos. There are two videos.
There are
Making
two
sure
videos. There are two
kids with
videos. Yes.
making
So,
sure kids with special needs get toys too, and the sensory room helping students with autism
but
focus.
ma'am, I feel that since it's sorted now, most probably it has to work from the video itself.
Okay.
Just see now.
Of the millions of toys that will be rung up, wrapped
Audible?
up, and given
Good
to
to
Yeah,
go?
it's
children's
audible. Yeah.
houses,
Yes, and the
very
visual is
few
the
are
bigger
made with
screen.
kids like little Abigail
Yeah.
Anderson in mind.
Yeah,
Bada
it's
As a
screen
audible.
hai?
baby, Abigail suffered
हाँ बड़ा
seizures.
screen है.
Okay, ma'am. Chalo, so we are sorted.
Still, I'll download the videos as
Yeah, yeah.
backup, and
Please,
if it
please, please,
doesn't work,
please. Yeah, yeah. Please do that. Please do that. It channel a Telegram बन गया न तो Telegram notification आवा करे screen पर आवा मैंने देखा था
you can stop presenting. Harish sir will join the link. The last session actually is still going on, so
Okay.
you'll be short by a couple of minutes. We have a session starting at 3:30 again.
No worries.
I'm sorry,
We'll
you will
reduce.
be
No,
cut
that's
short.
okay. We'll reduce the question and answer question session if it requires. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can stop presenting and
I
start
just
again.
need to 1 second. Yeah, fine.
Just 2 minutes. We're joining in and we'll give an intro. And then we'll start. So say 2 minutes max.
Hi, Pritesh.
Hi, Harish.
Wonderful. Great.
Yeah.
I can hear you. I guess you met at GLS.
Yes. Last year?
Yeah, last year, I guess. Yeah.
No,
So,
no. Last year we were at home. It was 2019. Yeah.
good. How's work been trading?
Yeah, it's going good. So
Very good. Very good. We should be live in a few minutes, I guess.
no worries.
Yeah, good to go.
मेरा बाहर साला चप्पट थी गया છે જો તો ઊભા થયા ઊભા થયા
After an interesting discussion on craft, toys, and enterprise, we move on to understanding special children, special needs, and how toys work for them with our next speaker, Professor Pritesh Bhatia. Professor, Pritesh Bhatia is a postgraduate in product design from MIT Institute of Design, Pune. He has worked as research fellow in National Innovation Foundation, Ahmedabad, where he was mainly involved with value addition, research, and development of grassroots innovation. He has launched a few of his conceptual products in the commercial market in the area of food and hospitality. All his work largely focuses on employment generation and micro entrepreneurship, and his core interest lies in complete product innovation cycle, right from designing, prototyping, testing, to mass manufacturing and scaling it to independent business models. His work has been covered in print media and has also been published at the national level. He has few design patents to his name, along with a couple of other applied under the Patent Act. His project, Portable Food Kiosk, was shortlisted for National Innovation Awards 2015. Currently, he serves as an assistant professor at GLS School of Design, Ahmedabad. Today, he shall discuss about toys for special needs. Over to you, Pritesh.
Thank you, Harish, for the wonderful introduction. I'll share my screen and just check whether it's visible or not.
Yeah.
Is it visible? Good to go?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. So hi, audience. Thank you for the introduction and thank you for inviting me. Since I am already been informed that we are running late on the schedule and the session needs to go on at a pace, so I'll not take much of the time and I'll right away dive into the session. So today's session was very important for me as it's related to not just people who are involved with a lot of difficulties in getting involved in the mainstream industry, but also for people who have not been focused upon even from design industry. Although we do a lot of projects at classroom level or maybe at research level, but when we think of solutions at market, we hardly find them. So I hope that you enjoy my session and we at the end we make sure that something value has been generated. So if you see, a lot of toy sessions has already been happened during the Ahmedabad Design Week, which is focusing on toy. So I'll just quickly run through what is purpose of toys for me. So first thing which comes to my mind is entertainment. So toys are traditionally some of the oldest entertainment forms of entertainment having been used for tens and thousands of years. Second point comes to my mind is engagement. So children engage with them on multiple levels, helping them to develop the way in which they communicate and interact with their surroundings. Third point which comes to my mind is education. Toys since childhood has been used as a tool for educating not just a child, but also at a senior age, we tend to re-identify ourselves through toys. So they are often used to augment information and basically make friends with toys, and then we learn through them. And final part is the experience. So children tend to attach their experiences to their toys and in turn associate them with unique stories and categorizations. So I hope that this is what we have learned through the previous sessions. Next for me is the toys are for various age groups. So we all know that right from our birth till maybe we have our own child, that is the age group where lot of toys we come across, and we tend to enjoy at each moment whenever something comes up, something new comes up. So these are a few of the categories of toys, or maybe the age groups. First one is about 18 months. So generally toys at this age until 18 months, they are used for developing physical reach, gripping, grasping, holding objects, as well as to help them communicate and socialize. Then comes the category of 18 months to 4 years. So this is when they further child generally further develops their physical interaction with objects. They improve their cognitive and motor skills, and it also helps them improve their hand-eye coordination. Generally, this is the time when parents or maybe the learners or the educators, they introduce kids to simple problem solving skills. Then comes the age of 4 to 8. This is the time when we encourage children to pursue physical activities, as well as we tend to create maybe some complex skills building using some toys. And then comes the age group of 8 and above. So we all are from 8 and above. So during this time, generally complex situation arises. This is the time when we start connecting with our toys, and we start gradually from this activities. Many times they become our hobbies, and then even sometimes they even become our careers. This is the time when we start realizing that there is a difference between a toy and a game. So generally games have rules, and toys are like we make our own rules. Next is, so what is the influence of our toys? So toys has a lot of influence. If you see, the first influence, the major influence the toys have is on our society and economics. If you say any toy, any child who is maybe just on the street side, maybe living in hut, or maybe a child who is playing with her parents in a Mercedes or a BMW, more or less the toys have same value in child's mind. It's about playing, it's about playing. So the concept of toys are universal to humans regardless of their economic situation. Society heavily influences the type of toys and the way in which it engages with the child. From the society comes our culture. The culture, the heritage, and the beliefs that children are exposed to influence the narratives of the toy. Generally when a certain cultural background people maybe mold their kids, they'll the child will always have that memory of that cultural impact of the toy with from his or her culture. Then comes the story. So from the culture comes lot of narratives, lot of stories. So each toy, regardless of its origin, has a story attached to it. It's not just a matter of physical engagement, but also a way a children exercises his imagination. Then from the story comes characters. So each story, if you say, will lead to a character. In itself, the toy itself becomes many a times, itself becomes a character for the child. And last comes the imagination. In all of these cases and situations, toys are a primary purpose of acting as the physical manifestation of one's imagination. So even if when at this age, if I put maybe take some product or a toy in hand, I'll have my own imagination running. Then next influence is it's on the development. This is the one of the most critical part where a toy is handed over to a child. Like after the engagement part, maybe the fun part, this is where the parents corely focus, and this is where the even the companies who are designing the toys, the designers who are involved in designing the toys, they focus upon. So the development, the very act of playing with toy engages children in many ways, helping them in developing not just their cognitive motor abilities, but also their social abilities. And last, this is the most critical part for me, and this is today's topic. It's about special needs. So very few people have known that special needs is a place where lot of influence is there by engagement of toys. So I want to take this opportunity today to take this topic in a bit of depth. So special needs, the use of toys are not just important for normal growth of children, but also incredibly helpful to engage both children and adults with special needs and disabilities, helping them grow past their limitations. So this is my topic for today, special needs. So what is a special need? Special needs describes individuals who require assistance for disabilities that may be medical, mental, or psychological. I would again like to repeat, special needs describes individuals who require assistance for disabilities that may be medical, mental, or psychological. So now we would always feel connected whenever we find someone who might not understand things at a particular pace. It doesn't mean that they are lack of skills or maybe lack of understanding. You might find that after today you would start realizing that he or she might be a person who has some kind of special need in a certain manner of maybe certain aspect of his life. Few hard facts. So India's population in 2011, as per the census, was 120 crore plus. What was the percentage of disability? You'll be shocked. So it's around 2.2%. So that is huge, 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 huge in our country. If you divide it further, what are the disability ratios? Mental illness, it was around approximately 7 lakhs. Cognitive disabilities, the abilities which include sight, speech, and hearing, it was whopping more than around 1.2 crore. Movement disability, 55 lakhs. Multiple disability, 21 lakhs. Mental retardation, 15 lakhs. And others, around 50 lakhs. If you see this as a number, you'll say it's huge, huge. And still, do we find toys in this category? You doubt. I would like to get into the types of special needs, because that is something where you'll start connecting when you see this categories. So majorly there are 22 types of special need conditions, and countless more are there which are lesser known and still under study. I would like to give few examples. So you might be aware of autism, you might be aware of Alzheimer, but there are many more. You might be aware of blindness, you also might be aware of developmental delay, but there are much more to it. This fetal alcohol syndrome, we might not be aware that it is also a kind of a special need. Hearing impairment, one of the most common ones. Learning disabilities, again one of the most common ones. Now people in India have started accepting it, that no, a child can be special, and there are ways and means in which this special need can be catered. Then there is muscular dystrophy, paraplegia, quadriplegia. Then sensory integration disorder, people with reading disability, stroke, and traumatic. So there are in and around, these are major documented 22 special needs. And when you get into detail, you will find there are so many sub variations in each of them. And then innumerable n number of other special needs which are still under consideration and still under study. But these are major ones. So now I would like to take you through few examples of toys which are used for special needs. So Alzheimer. So what is Alzheimer? Alzheimer, it's a progressive disease that destroys the memory and other important mental functions. So for each of this disease, I have found one or two examples so that you also understand that toys do cater to this kind of special needs. So there's a therapy called as tangle relax therapy. What does it do? It engages in repetitive hand movements, often stemming from a nervous energy that needs to be appropriately channeled. This toy works beautifully for all dementia patients. It also is useful for bringing a focus during attention at school and at home. So it engages in repetitive hand movement. Autism. So what is autism? It's a serious developmental disorder that impairs the ability to communicate and interact. It's a very common thing. There's a there is a toy called Squeaks. It helps apply pressure to connect and disconnect to any surface. We would have played with maybe air bubbles. We would have used this toy. I still remember in my childhood there was a plant thorn which we used to apply it at any surface and then pluck it out and then again do it. But then it's used for a disability, or it's used for maybe addressing a special need. How is it useful? It improves the fine motor skills. It improves your interaction ability. Then there's one more game for autism. It is called as the game of perfect balance. What you need to do over here, you just need to roll the dice, and whichever number comes, you need to strike a pose for it and try and find a balance. It what it does, it helps improve the balance and coordination between the body and the body parts. Next is apraxia. Apraxia is it finds difficulty with skilled movements even when a person has the ability and desire to do them. There is a toy called as Dimple Digit. What it does is it's a silicone bubble toy which gives sensory inputs from the raised numbers on one side and bumps to the other to learn how to count. It's useful. It helps develop, sorry, it helps develop resistance by working and strengthening fingers and develop fine motor skills. It's also very visually stimulating. If you see the colors and all, it's also very visually stimulating. Next special need is Asperger's. It's a developmental disorder affecting ability to effectively socialize and communicate. There's a toy called as snap circuit motion. What it does is it works by building an array of moving components like a air fountain, a motion detector, or a colorful animal themed merry-go-round, mini car that drives around the room, a plane that moves with vibration. What it does is it helps encourage imagination, experiment with new ideas, and also make their own story. So people who play with this kind of toys, they tend to gradually improve their uh, imaginatory power, and also they start making their own stories. Blindness, this is one of the most known and common thing. It could be partial, it could be complete, but then there are a lot of development in this direction, and one of the most common toy you'll find for this is braille reader. So what it does is it has an embossed toy which helps kid to learn numbers and alphabets. It incorporates braille for tactile experience and audio for auditory feedback. It not only teaches and improves the ability to understand, but it also develops your tactile feel. Next special need I would like to take is cerebral palsy. It's a conditional disorder of movement, muscle tone, and posture. A common product or toy used for this is Bean. It's an innovative shape sorting box which encourages fine motor skill, tactile exploration, and experimentation. When we see this kind of toys, we feel nothing special, but it takes a lot of design thinking and a lot of efforts to come across this kind of products. Next is developmental delay. So this is refers to a child who has not gained developmental skills expected out of him or her as compared to others at the same age. And this is very common. You might find people in and around you who might have this disorder or this kind of special need and they are not addressed. So there is a toy which is called as piano popping fun. Here, the person needs to keep pressing and exploring the sounds. After every note, the flying spears fall back into the pipes and which are ready to launched again. It helps improve the fine motor skills, sensory learning, and cause and effect learning. Next special need is hearing impairment. Again, as blindness, this is also one of the common and most aware special need. So it occurs when there's a problem with or damage to one or other parts of the hair. A toy which is being used generally by people, by doctors, is magnetic alpha tab. What it does is over here you need to hold the magnetic pin, follow the arrows to write particular alphabet. What happens over here is the vibration makes writing fun and provide an auditory information. Another very common one is learning disabilities. A learning disability is a reduced intellectual ability and difficulty with everyday activities. So the toy is shake and make words. What you need to do over here is you just need to give the dice dome a shake and watch as the dice settle into their slots to reveal a random set of 4 letters. It encourages quick thinking, vocabulary skills, creativity, and problem solving. Next toy is again Inibin. So if you see a simple toy which has multiple applications. Again, the same utility it has. Next special need is multiple sclerosis. A common product or a toy is mini squigs. Again, as it was mentioned for squigs, this is similarly a smaller version of it, where you can put all the squig parts together and form various structures. How is it useful? Again, it helps find your motor skills and improve your interaction ability. Another product or another toy which is very common in from our childhood is boom whackers. It's an impact based toy where it needs to be struck to generate sounds. It develops brain activity using sound and music. Next special need is muscular dystrophy. It's a group of genetic disease that causes progressive weakness and loss of muscle mass. This is rare, but it is very still in India you found a lot of people with this kind of special need. A toy which is common for this particular special need is spin again. I'm sure that our child or maybe in our childhood we have played with this kind of toy. It's a stacking toy made of coated plastic. What this toy does, it usually stimulates children as they practice their hand-eye coordination and early engineering skill. Next product is Little Help Broom Set. So this toy sets featuring a large broom, a hand broom, and a dustpan. So kids can feel just like their mom and dad doing household chores. It brings timeless pretend play to life, and in doing so engages their muscular skeletal system. Next special need is paraplegia. It is a complete or partial loss of muscle function. A toy which is generally used to treat this kind of people with this kind of special need is door pong. It's a ping pong without a table. The goal is to hit the ball back to your opponent every time without missing. It enhances hand-eye coordination, concentration, reflexes, cooperation, and much more. Next is Ivan's Hinge. It's an irresistible fidgeting toy which works by engaging users with micro movements, and in doing so exercises the fine motor skill of the user. Next special need is quadriplegia. Again, it's the disease or maybe the special need is different, but the toys would be very much the same. Quadriplegia refers to paralysis from the neck down, including the trunk, leg, and arms. So already we have discussed the spin again toy and even the Evans Hinge. Next special need is sensory integration disorder. So sensory processing disorder is a condition in which the brain troubles receiving and responding to information that comes in through the senses. If you see all the toys, they are some or the other way connecting with our senses. So Rainbow Music Bell, this toy provides kids with a wonderfully intuitive first time music making experience that's fun and easy. It improves senses and helps brain to communicate well with those senses. And the next toy is Dino utensils. So this over here, if you see the grips, there are easy grips and unique little tools that make food time more fun and make learning to use utensils super easy. It improves our physical senses while touching different textures and patterns. Next special need is speech and language delay. So a speech and language delay is when a child isn't developing speech and language at an expected rate. So there is a toy book which is called as Oh Yuck. It's an interactive book which helps improve speech impediments by exposing the child to fun gross facts about the body and the world around them. Next is alphabet puzzle. So this I am sure most of us have played with. An ideal introduction to alphabets with an interactive tactile wooden puzzle. It improves speech and language based problems. Next special need is traumatic brain injury. So traumatic brain injury is mild traumatic brain injury may affect brain cells temporarily. More serious injury can result in bruising, torn tissues, bleeding, and other physical damage to the brain. There's a toy called as brain food slurry. We have played with it all the time. It was a viral product a couple of years back. So it's a needing elastic putty which channels fidget's energy so the user can focus mentally. It is ideal for networking right and left of our brain. Last special need I would like to discuss is vision impairment. Visual impairment is a term experts use to describe any kind of vision loss, whether it's someone who cannot see or someone who has partial vision loss. One very common toy is Acuity. Acuity over here in this toy, the players, so it's more of a game. So players must race against each other or work towards discovering and matching hidden patterns in the tile arrangement. Whosoever can match most will win the game. So it works by engaging the visual cortex of the user. I would bring to your notice few renowned companies who are currently working on special need toys. So first is Fat Brain Toys. They design the toys which are specifically focusing on different diseases of the special needs. Then there is Special Needs Essentials. Special Needs Essentials provide adaptable toys, daily living aids, therapy tools, and more to help improve the daily life of special needs children. Then there is Playability Toys. Playability Toys develops smart designs and manufactures developmental toys and other products for home and clinical environment. Fun version, it's a startup. This startup specializes in designing through provoking toys and games for special needs, focusing on STEAM learning. And there is Safer Toys. They design personalized toys, so they help building marvels, mechanic gears, or simply strategizing with simple games of dog and bone. So these are few of the companies which are currently focusing on toys for special people with special needs. Next is the trends. So what are the trends currently going in toy industry? First, it's personalized toys. So these are the toys with specific technical customizations like the incorporation of sensors, features, and tracks. Second is plush toy. We all have our favorite moment with plush toys. So plush toys are standard soft toys. Water toys. This toy specializes in incorporating water as a major aspect of themselves. Water guns and balloons. Then there are steam toys. So this is the buzzword right now in toy industry. Steam toys. Anywhere you see, there are games which are being built over steam fundamentals, or there are toys. So steam stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. As the name suggests, these are the toys that lean towards more technical, even intensive activities, exercising the mind of the children. Then there are experiential packaging or unboxing experiences, which have become an integral part of toy experience in today's time. Next is diversity. So diversity is an important aspect to make a lot of inclusive toys so that kids can relate with them. Lot of companies are also focusing on environmental friendly toys, because this is where even audiences have become more aware and they are focusing on sustainable designs. Last is toys focused on creativity. So these are the toys that engage the creative aspects of the child. All of this, if you see, lot of digitization has come up with all these products, and lot of design thinking has started being applied. If we see, that is the fundamental reason why this entire fest has been given the theme of toy design. There are a lot of national level innovation challenges going around toy design. There is a call for local vocal for local. So all of this, if you see this, there is a lot of trend where new product development can be done. So what's the scope? This is the most impactful slide I would like to put forward. 120 crore population in 2011, beyond 140 crores now. 2.2% was the disability ratio. You will be amazed looking at the figures. 0 to 9 years, 32 lakhs. 10 to 19 years, 46 lakhs. 20 to 29 years, 42 lakhs. 30 to 59 years, 92 lakhs. 60 plus years, 55 lakhs. And this was all in 2011. We are a decade older now with more 20 plus crore more population, and I'm sure the numbers have gone up, not brought down. So what is the scope? As seen through various case studies shared by me, The toys are available for addressing these special needs, but it is observed that there are very limited number. I am sure most of you won't be aware of most of the toys or most of the special needs, and many of you might have not even have connected toys with special needs. So that was my agenda for today's session. Looking at the statistics and demographics, it is clearly evident that this is the area where lot of development scope is brought. Over here, I would like to show you a couple of videos how toys are brought into mainstream for special needs, and companies and startups are building a system around requirements of special needs.
Of the millions of toys that will be rung up, wrapped up, and given to children this holiday season, very few are made with kids like little Abigail Anderson in mind. As a baby, Abigail suffered seizures which left her developmentally delayed and unable to play with the toys built for other 4-year-olds.
She needs toys that are kind of well suited for her, that react a certain way, that are easier for her to manipulate, that teach her lots of cause and effect and that kind of thing.
Abigail and other special needs children often need toys that are modified, like this one. It has a large on-off switch that she can find and work easily. But toys like these are almost impossible to find, which is why Abigail comes here. Hi. This is the Toy and Technology Library at Ohio State University Medical Center, one of only a handful in the country. Here, kids like Abigail can find toys that are just right for them.
Most of the switch-activated items and the specially adapted toys you can't buy locally. You have to order from catalogs, and they're costly.
For example, a toy like this in a store might only cost $10, but this one, modified for special needs kids, is nearly $50. But here, they're free. Just like books at a library, families here can come check out toys and even specialized computers to take home and try out.
This is really leveling the playing field and just adapting a device or a computer or a toy that every other child uses and just modifying it slightly so that they can enjoy it fully.
Best of all, they choose their toys under the watchful eye of a therapist who not only finds toys kids will enjoy, but will learn from, which means both kids and parents always leave happy. At Ohio State University Medical Center, this is Clark Powell reporting.
Bye, Abigail.
So this was the funda of a toy library. If this is the situation in Western world where we always keep on looking, then just think what would be the situation for in India. This is one more company which has come up with another innovative idea of how to teach kids.
Research shows that if the student's in the right mindset and they get their sensory needs met, they're going to be much better learners.
Hands to your heart space. Take a deep breath in.
The sensory room is probably my most important piece of the day. Students go to the sensory room in order to calm their bodies and get all the emotions out and stabilize themselves so they're ready to learn and they're happy.
When we designed the sensory room, we actually took the entire room apart. We carpeted the floor so that we could absorb some of the sound. We put the shades on the ceiling to change the light. So when they walk in that room, they feel the change.
My class specifically, we utilize the room once a day for a 30-minute break.
First thing that they do is go on the ball and they bounce to a metronome. It's really a way to ground them into the space and give them some sensory input before we have them go out into the room.
We're going to do our rotation now, okay?
So there's different stations in the sensory room, and some of my students love specific stations. One in particular loves the punching bag and the ropes. He's able to get all that anger and frustration out, so that calms him down. Whereas another student, I know he needs calming movements, so he's on the swing going back and forth.
Another area in the room is the crash pad. You will see students that have sensory issues bump into walls, bang their head. So what we've created is a safe space to crash into. And then there's the light wall. You could use your hands, you could use your feet. There's different games that are programmed on there.
Yes, good girl.
We also work on balance and coordination. The walking path works on all of those, and they have to right themselves, correct their body in space. We have 10-pound slam balls. Some students just need to come in, pick something heavy up and throw it. That's the essence of a sensory room. You're putting materials in there that are appropriate, so a student's not throwing a chair. And at the end, when they finish with their stations, they lay on the floor and they're squished. So everything that we do in there is predictable. There's a set sequence.
We're all done with sensory room. We're going to walk back to our class.
So after the sensory room, they're able to focus more. They're quieter and their hands are to themselves and they're able to listen to my directions. We're here, we came from sensory room, we're ready to learn.
How does the sensory room make you feel? Happy.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg. So for conclusion, I feel that we need to be much more aware of the limitations with kids or in any age group they have having any kind of special need. Second is we need to create or design toys which are much easily accessible and affordable so that they can go to the masses. If you realize, if you speak to any therapist, you'll realize that the early the detection, the easier it becomes for the child to get cured, and the numbers would reduce. Next is, after all of this, it would be great if we empathize with the struggle that comes with special needs and encourage our coming generation and students and maybe all the startups and the government policymakers to encourage the development and use of more inclusive and universal toys. Lastly, this all would lead to empower the people with special needs to grow past their limitations and become part of our mainstream community. So that was it from my side. Thank you very much. And I would like to give thank you credits to Ahmedabad Design Week and the host iHub and UID, to my institute, my director, Dr. Anil Sinha, my colleague, Professor Mukhtiar Sheikh, and my students, Mr. Janil Shah and Dwanit Rawal, who helped me make this presentation. Thank you.
Wonderful, Pritesh. That was a very informative session. There's a question that we have.
Yes.
One of the viewers have asked, as you said, that the numbers must have shot up for special needs as of 2021.
Yes.
By what margin are you looking at? And if there has been so much exposure to special needs toys, how do we manage it to the Indian market, where people buy products on price and quality?
Can you repeat the question, Harish?
Slightly a longer one, but the first one is, first part is, as you said, that the numbers have increased from 2011. What is your estimate that it was?
So it's very, see, I didn't find a report of 2016 census. So we don't need to find the numbers. It's not, if we are not able to address 2011 market size, then I'm pretty sure that 2021, it would be bigger. And maybe next year, if we have another census, it would be higher. So for what matters for all of us as a design community is maybe address a smaller audience. Let's pick up Ahmedabad. If we are next year doing again a toy challenge, let's make something for them. Let's make a category of special needs. So let's start from a smaller audience and gradually things will definitely move forward.
Wonderful. The second part of the question is also on how do we engage it to the Indian market where people buy products on price and quality?
So to whomsoever this question is raised, you are not aware. You are not aware of the people who have all the money and all the luxuries in their life, and they have done everything for their kids, and still their kids cannot be cured of this special needs. So our target should be come up with good solutions, and gradually with government subsidies or maybe private players investing, the price could be reduced. So that is not a challenge. The challenge is to bring focus. Right now, the whole idea of taking this topic was, as a designer, to bring empathy in all of us and focus on this particular topic, because that is the core. If that thing comes up, the pricing is something which can be reduced through change of material, or maybe startups like doing a library thing, which that was the case study, right, which I shared. So that all can be managed. That is not a bigger challenge. The bigger challenge is to bring the focus to this sector where there is a lot of development yet to happen.
Wonderful, Pritesh. That was pretty elaborate in terms of how you put the information across. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Yes.
And we'll take a couple of minutes before we start the next session with Anita Savika.
Sure, sure.
Thank you.